Now an NBC News national security analyst, Jeremy Bash. Jeremy, good to see you this morning.
Hey, Willie.
Let's talk about the choice, first of all, of Christopher Wray. He was the head of the DOJ criminal division under President George W. Bush. He's getting praise and plaudits this morning from people he worked alongside, even people in the Obama administration saying this was a good choice. He ran the Enron case. He represented Chris Christie in Bridgegate. What more can you tell us about this man, and what do you make of the pick?
Yeah, he looks like a solid choice, Willie. I mean, he's got the credentials. He's got the career prosecutorial experience. He worked basically for Jim Comey when Jim Comey was the Deputy Attorney General between 2003 and 2005. He's a mainstream Republican with a law enforcement and prosecutorial background, so I think he looks like a solid choice. Obviously, the questions around his nomination are going to circle around the question of independence, though.
Let me ask you about something we have just had coming in this morning from former DNI James Clapper as we talk about the big picture here of the Russia investigation. Testimony today from Dan Coates and others. Testimony tomorrow, of course, from former Director James Comey. He said, former DNI, Jim Clapper said that Watergate, quote, pales in comparison to the Russia investigation. What do you make of that assessment?
Yeah, I know General Clapper very well. He does not engage in hyperbole. He is a career military officer. He led multiple intelligence agencies and capped off his storied career as the Director of National Intelligence. For him to make an assessment that this, as a national security matter, is on a higher order of magnitude and makes Watergate pale in comparison, that's very telling. I think it shows the level of concern inside national security professional communities about what Russia was doing and about the concern that anybody inside the United States may have been working with them.
And it's an educated assessment, Elise. This is not a pundit sitting somewhere speculating. This is a guy who was running the National Intelligence Services.
Yes, and it's a pretty heavy declaration, but I almost wonder how anything is really going to break through over these next couple of days with the combination of the Comey testimony and then also what President Trump may do. And that's what, Jeremy, I just wanted to ask you, can you foresee any wild cards that could possibly come up over the next 24 hours? You know, this nomination of Christopher Wray, a smart Republican operative, just told me, she said, you know, it's almost as if President Trump is becoming predictable. He's just distracting everyone with a pick that people don't really know much about on a huge news day that otherwise would be sucked up by talk of this upcoming testimony. Can you see any potential wild cards over the next 24 hours?
No, I can't, Elise. I think tomorrow basically is going to play out as follows. It's essentially a one-question hearing. What did the president say to you? Every other question is going to be a branch or a sequel off of that question. Did he ask for a loyalty pledge? What did you say in response? What else did you hear about your performance? And I think he's going to stick to the facts. He's not going to make a legal assessment of whether or not there was obstruction of justice. And I think the posture of the committee members, of Mark Warner and others of the Democrats, and even maybe some of the Republicans, is going to be, all right, we need to interview additional witnesses to figure out the president's motive in firing Comey. We need to interview Sessions and Rosenstein and even Priebus and others in the White House. And here's the sleeper issue. The sleeper issue is executive privilege, not tomorrow, but down the road when these other individuals are asked to produce documents and testify. If the president tries to assert executive privilege, Bob Mueller's next move is to put everybody into the grand jury and try to trump that executive privilege claim.
Well, to that point, Jeremy, Sam Stein here, are you surprised that Comey went through with this? I mean, Bob Mueller has his investigation going. There's the potential that does exist that something Comey may say, although he's very calculating and probably won't go there, but there's potential that he could compromise the investigation. Are you surprised that he went through this, or went through with this, sir?
Not really, because the president had called him a nut job, had said he was a showboat, had said he lied under oath. And I think for Jim Comey it was important to protect his professional integrity. But even a broader point, where is this all going? Eventually it's going to be a chapter in the Bob Mueller report to Congress, because, of course, Bob Mueller can't indict a president. He has to report to Congress for potential impeachment and trial in the Senate.
Just a quick follow on that. How long do you think the Mueller investigation will conceivably take?
Probably 18 months to 2 years.
Wow. All right, Jeremy Bash, thank you. Always good talking.